Welcome to our Vault Shorts. These are shorter episodes highlighting programs and resources here in our Billings community. We will also be doing some solos with Kayla and I, a new mini-series within Season 2.
The following is a Big Sky Economic Development production.
It's Mars B.
And Kavo.
And this is The Vault at 201 North Broadway.
A business podcast.
Where we bring you entrepreneurs, small business owners, and community leaders of Montana.
To share their stories, expertise, industry insights, and strategies.
And we are sharing them all with you every single week.
You don't want to miss this.
Learn how to better start, manage, and grow your business.
And your leadership style.
Tangible takeaways to save you time and improve whatever it is that you're working on.
You're listening to The Vault.
Thank you to the Small Business Development Center for sponsoring The Vault at 201 North Broadway. The Small Business Development Center offers free personalized support from business plans to financial projections and beyond, empowering small businesses to thrive. Reach out to us at bigsky.economicdevelopment.org.
So today we're really excited to have with us NextGEN, members of NextGEN. And Kayla and I actually met through NextGEN, so this is a really fun episode for us to interview you guys here today. So joining us is Cathy Grider with the Billings Chamber of Commerce and Abby Wink with Marsh McLennan Agency, and she's the co-chair of NextGEN currently. Cathy, you're with the Chamber. So do you just want to dive right in and give us a little bit about NextGEN, because it is a program within the Billings Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, so NextGEN was started, actually, this is a really exciting year for us. NextGEN is 10 years old. So
wow.
We have a lot of things. We've seen a lot of momentum through NextGEN, a ton of growth. And so really NextGEN started as our board of directors started to look at the people around the table, recognizing that we needed to create a space for our young professionals as we look at wanting to create spaces of belonging and what's the future for the Billings Chamber. It's really about making sure that young professionals feel connected to the Chamber.
I can't believe it's going to be 10 years.
I know. I guess we started when it was like baby form. Yeah.
Infancy form. So Abby, what led you to join and get involved with the NextGEN?
You know, when I've said this before, and I always think it's a little bit funny, but when I very first started within NextGEN, I thought, oh, this will be great. I can add it to my LinkedIn profile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the time, for my job, I needed to get out. I needed to meet other young professionals and other individuals. So I thought, well, this is a great time. And I had some friends that were a part of NextGEN. And over the course of time, you know, once I joined, and then I really didn't go to anything for a long time. I was a terrible member. And then once I got more involved and more engaged, I realized that there were so many opportunities to just get involved. I'm from Billings originally, and I've always felt like Billings is my home. But after I joined NextGEN, like Cathy said, I felt a sense of belonging. And I got to thinking to myself over the course of the last 5 years that I've been involved of what do I want the community to look like, not only for myself and my family, but like for my kids when they grow older and if they choose to call Billings home. So that was that was the succession of as to why I got involved and then why I stayed and why it has been such a big part of my life, I feel like.
Well, and as co-chair, that's a big role. I mean, you led the Inspire, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yep. So I started off on the Inspire committee, and then COVID happened. So it was like we really couldn't do a lot. That was a bummer. And then I moved to the Grow team, and I felt like that year when I moved to the Grow team, it was more in line with my skill set, just getting out and meeting people and really enjoying it. So I feel like that was the pivotal year for me. And then I moved into the co-chair role with Colton, and now in the chair role. So it's exciting. So technically this is my last year. Next year I'll move into the exiting chair role, but yeah, I know. So bittersweet.
Yeah, but that's a long path. And Cathy, since it's 10 years, I mean, how has NextGEN evolved? And you've been involved with it probably too since because we met you. Yeah. I mean, that's how we all met, was through NextGEN.
Yeah, we all served. So everybody at this table has served on the NextGEN board.
Yeah, the leadership team.
You're right. Yeah.
In different capacities.
Yeah. So we've really seen just a tremendous growth. And so that's the cool piece of it is watching. I love the success stories that have come out of NextGEN. We've even seen people get married out of NextGEN, which is so cool.
That is cool.
I know. Kyle Schlickenmeyer and Rebecca. I mean,
Yeah.
The photos back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. So really watching just individuals come out of their shells is cool too. Watching people just become more confident in who they are, what they're bringing to the table. I get the seat to watch that, which is so fun for me.
Within NextGen, we mentioned Inspire. Kayla served on Learn. I think I was on Inspire too back in the day. But
There's Grow.
There's Grow. Can you guys talk a little bit about really, so it's a place for young professionals in Billings to connect, but
And that's 40 and like 21 to 40, right? That's our
Correct.
age range
Yes.
with NextGen.
Sorry, 40 plus. Just kidding. But there's other cool
There
chamber
is
things
other
for
great
you that we
groups
can do
for
a different
them.
episode on. But what are some of those programs that really incentivize people and knowing, because something I loved about NextGen was that I didn't have to do all of it. I could lean into, like you said, I could just lean into the one that I connected more with and inspired me more. So can you guys talk about the different committees?
Yes. So we have the 4 committees: Grow, Connect, Inspire, and Learn. And each one is focused on something a little bit different, right? Inspire up at the campuses, focusing on getting college students engaged here in the community, maybe with an internship or a mentorship, whatever that looks like. Connect, all of the after hours and the events that our members can truly connect and expand their networks. Grow, similar to that, right? A lot of our new member socials. Each committee is in charge of quarterly events. So we have quarters events. And then Learn does our professional development series, our mentorship series, where we pair NextGen members with community leaders, which is one of my favorite programs that we offer. But I think the best way to encapsulate all that NextGen has to offer is that we focus on 3 key elements, which is access, education, and connection. So access to people and places our members normally wouldn't have access to. Connections, building those networks, developing relationships, building friendships, whatever that looks like. And then the third being the education piece. So we want to make sure that we're continuing to add value to our members, that we are providing personal, professional, civic, and philanthropic education. And then really what we talked about, something bigger happens, that people get engaged in the community and they feel a sense of belonging. And we always say, think of NextGen as the minors and the chamber as the majors. So this is a great springboard. And I say it's not a stepping stone. I mean, it is, but it's a launch pad into whatever you want to go and you want to do next, whether that's run for local office or serve on a local nonprofit board, whatever that is, we're going to get you connected. And I think that that's the best way to just, like I said, encapsulate NextGen and all that we offer and what our members are going to find value in.
Yeah, I love that. So you mentioned that each team does a different event or has different tasks that they handle. Can you talk about a little bit of those events and how people could maybe come try out like a meeting? Or
Yes. I think the best one is Next Hour. That happens the 3rd Thursday of every month. So very similar to Business After Hours. That either we're in a local business or we're at a local restaurant or bar or coffee shop, whatever that looks like. We have an after hours event where people can come and meet one another. We have a coffee hour that happens the 2nd Tuesday of every month. We do that at Black Dog, the old Harper in Madison downtown. Those are, I think, great places that are laid back environments for people just to come, try out NextGen, meet some people, get their toes wet. We have Cahoots that happens every Friday at the chamber. A lot of great organic conversation happens around that table, the same as coffee hour. But we also have quarterly events too. So that happens every single quarter. And the great thing about the quarter events is that we focus on those 3 key elements, that we bring the access, education, and connection all together for one big event.
awesome.
What about, so one of the ones that I liked a lot is the Learn series. I think that's one of my favorite things about NextGen because, I mean, initially when I was graduating from college, I got involved while I was a senior in college through my internship and job, part-time job at the chamber. But it was great because I think Next Hour was so impactful because that's how I met, like, all of you sitting here. You know, like, you meet so many great people that that care about the community, that are young, up-and-coming leaders within the community. But then I really, really loved the professional development series because I love to learn. I always love learning new things. And I think that series is so awesome that you guys do.
I'm super excited about this year's topic. So we're really diving into mental health in the workplace. And what does that look like with burnout, resiliency? How do we help people overcome just, all the stuff? There just seems to be so many heavy things that people are dealing with. And gone are the days where you leave that at the door. We're seeing your workday really blended. So you're taking work home, you're bringing work, life to work. So we're really diving deep into, mental health, resiliency, mindfulness. So I think it's going to be an excellent series.
That's awesome.
And can you talk to us a little bit about just the logistics of those, the details of time, date, cost for those? Because they're really, what I love is they're accessible. They're here in the community. They're not on Zoom. You can go see other people, and they're right here in Billings, and it's inexpensive.
Yeah, so those will happen once a month. They're 2 hours once a month. Very affordable. We really want anyone to come to the Professional Development Series. You don't have to fit the age range. You don't have to be a member. So really anyone can attend those. They're $150 if you're not a member. They're $100 if you are. And that gets you through the entire 5-month series.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, and your employer usually pays, which is great. I think with the membership too of NextGen is I found that a lot of Billings employers are really, they want their young professionals to get involved, so they'll cover the whole membership cost and then the professional development, which is so reasonable. You can't get a Zoom training for $100 anymore.
No, and we should, since we're talking on the topic of cost, let's talk about what it costs to actually be an NextGen member, because it's very affordable. It
is, yeah, super affordable. So it's for a chamber member, it's $125. For a non-chamber member, it's $150. That really gets you into most of our events and activities. Certain things, that when we have maybe a guest speaker, we'll charge a little more, or a special entrance into a different venue. Sometimes we have to charge for those, but generally that gets you into everything.
But it is one of the most inexpensive investments employers can make into their employees. One, for them to just get involved in the community and continue to grow as a leader, because eventually what we tell businesses or employers is that one day you're going to look around the table and these young professionals are going to be running the organization. So how do we get them connected and involved right now?
And train them as leaders. Can you guys choose on that? So we mentioned it a little bit. You have the action teams. But you also have chairs of those, right? Like co-chairs of those action teams. So can you talk a little bit about how the leadership team is structured and what that looks like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So each action team has 2 co-leads, except for Grow, because Grow is a big job. There's a lot that they are in charge of. There's 3 co-leads for the Grow committee. And then aside from that, then we have a co-chair and a chair, who then are facilitating a lot of the connections within NextGen and providing the guidance and the longevity, in terms of where we've been, where we're going, and just the overall leadership. And that's what I love about NextGen is that anytime someone joins, we always tell them, you have the ability to get involved at any degree or any level, whether you just want to come and you want to attend some events, you want to be an ambassador for NextGen. So you meet with new members, you help them get them plugged in, or you could say, I want to join the leadership team. That's something that I want to do. I want to be a co-lead. I'm really invested in the professional development series and the mentorship. That's what I love. I want to be a part of Inspire, and I want to be a co-lead for that. And then over the course of time, if it's something that, you decide, well, now I want to maybe go to Grow because I like what Grow is doing. You have the ability to move co-leads within the action teams. And then if you want to be the co-chair or the chair one day, that's all part of that as well. And that's what we encourage people. We want people to, anyone who gets involved, we want them to want to serve in a leadership capacity and grow as a leader. So how do we make that happen? And what are they passionate about too? I mean, that's important that we look at, that we want to help them get what they need and what they want out of NextGen.
That's really cool. So what are some things now hitting year 10 that you guys are looking forward to within this next year? Because you guys run on a fiscal cycle like we do, but then, you have the new year in January, but our fiscal cycle is July to June. So what are some of those exciting things that are going to come with year 10?
We actually have an amazing party planned. So, and it really will be all alumni. That's, we have huge visions to see alumni come back, the chamber board, of course. But then on top of that, that'll also be the kickoff night to the Montana Young Professionals Summit, which will be here in Billings.
Good.
Yeah, I'm just so excited. We'll be at the Northern for day 1, and then day 2 will be at Zoo Montana, which will be so fun.
Oh,
Can you tell us the dates? Not yet.
Nope.
Not yet. Okay. No, that's great.
But soon. I do know them.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Great. So we can find that information on the website. Newsletter is another really great way to just keep updated on NextGen stuff. So if you're a member, Cathy sends you this wonderful newsletter, and then just other things like the 3 things happening this week.
Yeah. So each week I'll send out a top 3 things happening so that we have gone back and forth with calendar invites and all the different things, but we just want to keep everybody involved. And we recognize that there are so many things happening. And the goal really is not for you to attend everything. While you're welcome to attend everything, we'd love to have you. It's really back to that finding what's best for you. What do you want to get out of NextGen? How do you want to grow? And how can we help support that?
That's so exciting. So a history on the Montana Young Professional Summit. This isn't going to be the first time it's in Billings. It was in Billings back in 2017, I want to say.
Yep. It was 2017.
Cool. That's exciting. Good job, you guys. I'm so excited.
I know.
Okay.
The agenda for that, we've just started kind of putting that together, and I can't even tell you, it's going to be amazing.
That's awesome.
Wait. And
we really liked it because we attended the first one together. I think Marcella actually had her hands in helping plan the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the value for young professionals for that Young Professional Summit is huge. So highly recommend attending, especially if you're here local within, the region of Billings, to come attend that. It would be awesome.
And I think what's great about that is it connects young professionals all across the state. We had an informal, leadership team back in the day with that one too, but Billings has the largest young professional, the most activated because of the work you guys are doing. So thank you. But activated young professional group, I think, in the state of Montana. And I say that very confidently because I'm quite sure it's a fact.
Yeah,
it is.
It's a fact now. Yeah. Because I said it.
Because you said it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's like the internet.
Exactly. It is Wikipedia.
We actually have heard too from, other leaders here in the community that have come from other places and other very large places. And their young professionals groups don't even compare to what we're doing. And so we hear that time after time, even when the aspirational city visit, that we got to host this past year, their young professionals group isn't even close to doing what we're doing. So I think should be really proud of that.
Absolutely.
One, as just Billings, but at Montana and nationally, because we have some really cool programming and everything we offer, I think is really great.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we can all say yes.
Yes. And Cathy, you've been involved even prior to being at the chamber. You were Grow.
Yeah, so I was on the
right?
Grow.
Yes,
yeah,
okay, good. I'm
I remember
we were, I remember. I say back in the day, but it wasn't really
that
back
was
in the
kind of
day.
before we implemented You Must Leave, at some point. No, I'm just joking. We don't really make anyone leave.
But what are the terms on the leadership team? Let's get to that.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. So we really did go back to kind of more of a structure in the last few years, simply to give people an opportunity. We don't ever want to ask someone okay, what's next for you? But we do, in some ways. We want to help them continue to grow. So having somebody sit in one spot for too long, we like to have new, fresh ideas. So currently, each co-chair will sit in their role for 2 years.
Yeah, and that's a reasonable. Yeah. But you were involved with it, right? Can you talk a little bit about your history with NextGen before now being at the chamber? Yeah,
absolutely. So I truly give so much of the credit to who I am today to NextGen, honestly. Giving it, watching myself, knowing I was so shy, I didn't really want to come out of my shell, and more of an introvert. So I have a twin sister. She was the loud, outspoken.
I always forget you have a twin sister. Yeah.
So she was always she's the one that did all the talking, and I kind of stood behind her. So once she left for college, it was okay, I have to figure this out by myself. How do I do that?
Yeah.
So NextGen really was that tool for me. And so I truly credit the growth that I've had, just even public speaking, building relationships, all of it is, it's so much given. The credit is really given to NextGen and the opportunities that it has provided me. So much so that I, when the chamber started looking to hire someone to run the program, I kind of tossed around like, I'm interested. But then I really, once I really got to thinking about where my passion lies, absolutely. This job is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
We thought it was a perfect fit.
And you do such a great job.
You do.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it's been fun to see you in this role too, because it's really, you're busy. I mean, you guys, the chamber's involved in a lot of stuff. I feel like I see you a couple times a week. So it's really fun to see you thriving in this role. I too love NextGen. Very fond of it. Good memories.
So what we're telling you now is go out and attend a NextGen event.
Yes.
And then see the magic that is there.
Well, and I think, and I would love your guys' perspective. I'll kick it off. So I think if you're listening to this and you're a young professional in Billings or within your community, I mean, just get involved, and it's such an easy, low barrier thing to do. I got involved in college, which is great. Like if you're planning to stay in Billings, take that opportunity and really network it and give your career more of a like a leap pad out of college. You never know who you're going to meet that could maybe introduce you to that next opportunity. Or if you're making a switch or looking for a New Year's resolution or a New Year's thing to add this year for growth and professional development, definitely check out NextGen. But what would you guys say? We all have different, I think, interactions with NextGen that have inspired us in different ways. So I'd love to hear from everyone.
Well, I'll just jump in. My biggest thing is, one, my background was not in professional. I came from working in kitchens and owning a cafe. So my background was not any business professional. So for me, the professional development series was huge because it just taught me the skills that I just didn't learn in the roles that I was carrying before. So I really attribute a lot of how I am able to present myself in professional settings to the way I was taught in the learn team. But the other thing I would also say is I moved to Billings and I really didn't have any friends. And so for me, I was able to not only learn how to be a professional, but also to make friends and meaningful friends. And Marcel and I, we're going to be celebrating.
I know. What is our year?
I think it's like 9 years we've been
basically
friends.
10, yeah.
And so, I have those lifelong friends now from that. And I think that is one of the most important things from there too, is I was able to make those connections, and they were meaningful and genuine, and I continue to keep those throughout my life. And so I'm a better professional and I have friends. So that's,
I love that. That's how I met Colton.
Yeah.
I know. And I'm like, you're stuck with me now forever.
Yes. I know.
As a good friend. Yeah. He's but I think that's, you meet your really good friends in this group.
You do. Yeah. I mean, I'm in my career today because of NextGen, because of the mentorship series. And so I echo what you guys say, that I've built so many incredible relationships through NextGen. And the other thing that I like to tell people is that it doesn't happen overnight.
No.
Right? People join and sometimes they're like, oh, I'm not getting out what I want to. And it's like, well, are you showing up? Are you really putting yourself out there?
Effort in?
Yeah. And I think in a world of instant gratification, this isn't that, right?
No.
I mean, you might get a behind the scenes tour of something that's really cool, what's happening in Billings and that education. But it really truly is something that you have to show up, you have to get engaged. And it takes a little bit of time. I mean, I've been a part of NextGen for 5 years. And I mean, I accredit so much of my success where I'm at personally and professionally. And like I said, the relationships that I've gotten able to make because of NextGen. So it doesn't happen overnight. We tell people it's like a gym membership. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's so true because, I mean, you guys are a testament to that, showing up, getting started, and what you have now today because of NextGen. So
exactly. So don't just go to Quarters or Next Hour and eat the charcuterie and stand in a corner. Eat the charcuterie and have a conversation.
Exactly. And
Absolutely.
we truly have a place for everyone.
Absolutely.
Right? Because sometimes people will say, well, my job doesn't require me to go out and meet people. Well, that's fine. We have something else for you. and the one commonality I think that we all share being a part of NextGen is that we want to get involved on a deeper level, and we want to have those connections and know what's going on in Billings. And we're going to help you get plugged in and find those places so you really, again, this is, I feel like, is the theme today, really find your place in NextGen and then overall in the community.
Love it.
I think my favorite piece is really watching people shine. You know, I have the pleasure of getting to sit there and see these people, some of these individuals at the very beginning stage of their career, where I'm, you know, having to message them, telling them, you know, come to this. I promise, you know, I'll introduce you to someone, and then give it a couple of years, sometimes even a year. And to see the difference in some of these people is so powerful. And so I know that it's working. What we're doing, what we're offering is working.
Absolutely.
That's really great. So we're going to take a quick pause for a quick sponsor message before we get back into our rapid fire questions. Thank you to Big Sky Economic Development for supporting the Vault at 201 North Broadway. Big Sky Economic Development provides leadership and resources for business creation, expansion, retention, new business recruitment, and community development. If you are starting a business, growing or expanding your business, diversifying your customer base, or maybe you're looking for business trainings to attend to continue to learn and grow, they're excited and here to help. Even if you're thinking of relocating your company into Billings, they're a resource for you. BSED also provides resources for community development initiatives by planning, partnering, and managing projects and administering grants for redevelopment and placemaking. Their workforce development program brings together industry and education partners to anticipate and respond to community workforce needs. And they provide talent attraction and retention resources for your business to use under the community brand Better Off in Billings. BSED's Rock 31 program is focused on helping startups thrive. And in their location in downtown Billings, they have 2 floors dedicated to co-working and additional spaces throughout their building open to the community to host their meetings, events, and trainings. Visit bigskyeconomicdevelopment.org. Again, that's bigskyeconomicdevelopment.org, or follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn. Thank you, ladies, for being with us here today. We like to end each episode with 3 rapid fire questions. So I'm going to start us off, and it's fun because you have coffee from upstairs. What's your go-to coffee order?
I am a hot vanilla latte.
Okay.
And with the minimal amounts of espresso because I really don't need it.
Okay.
I am generally a plain black iced coffee. Like that
I
is
always
my
see you
jam.
with
It's
those.
just a plain iced coffee.
I like more sugar. Just sugar and like lots of sugar.
I'm like, add more espresso, actually, to mine.
Yeah, I'm
so.
like, when you were just like, I like, less espresso. I'm a coffee with my cream type of gal.
Oh, yeah.
so.
I would agree.
And sugar.
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
What gets you going in the morning? Like, how do you guys start your day?
I love to, so I have 3 kiddos. So for me, getting up a little bit earlier before them, kind of setting my day really helps. It helps our morning, and that way we have a solid morning. Everybody's getting out the door on time. So for me, it's getting up early and just having that extra time for myself.
Me time. It's very important.
Yeah. I'm not in the stage yet where I feel like I have the me time. My kids are young, so I feel like they're up at like 5:30 a.m.
So they're morning kids.
They're morning kids. We'll see if that lasts as they get older. But I feel like it is from the time we wake up, it's like, we're going and we're ready. So I feel like my solitude time is after I drop them off at school. And then I have like a quick 10 minutes to work where I can listen to like a podcast or I can just have silence.
Quiet time.
Yeah, we start our day ready to go. But I like that because that does get me up and gets me going.
You don't have an option to not, though.
I know. Yeah, I got to get my
Your
brain
little
working.
alarm clocks, they're ready for you. That's great. So what's one, and we kind of covered this, but it's just a chance to do it again. If you missed it, what's one piece of advice you'd give a young professional here in Billings?
One of the best pieces of advice that I have gotten is that you always have to be in the business of planting seeds. Again, nothing happens instantly. You really have to work for what you want. And you always have to make sure you're planting those seeds and, essentially cultivating those relationships before you can ever harvest anything. So no one lives in a season of harvest all the time, right? You got to always be planting seeds and continually doing that. And that was the best piece of advice that I got because I never thought of it that way. I always wanted things to happen right now because that's my personality. Like, let's do it right now. So to have the patience.
I would actually say, in addition to building relationships, like Abby just mentioned, to not be afraid, really run for council, share your voice, just get involved. We know that we need younger people doing more for our community. So, join the table and share your voice.
I love those things. So last, before we go, where can people find NextGen?
Yes, the Facebook page is great, Billings NextGEN. That's where we share all of our real-time, up-to-date events. That's a great place. Our website, Cathy emails out the top 3 things. So if you're interested, obviously, in joining NextGen or being part of it, that's the best place to go. We have an Instagram page. We share some updates there and what we're doing. We have a newsletter that comes out every month that just came out. Yeah, we publish our calendar. That comes out in Simply Local magazine. So that's a great partner for ours. So I feel like we're kind of everywhere.
Yeah,
but I would say
great.
Facebook is a great place. Either our website, billingsnextgen.com, or our Facebook page, Billings NextGen, is the best place to find all of our events and what we're doing and how to get involved.
Awesome. Thanks so much, ladies, for coming on and sharing about NextGen. Everyone listening, grab a friend and go down and have a fun time at Next Hour on the 3rd Thursday of the month.
Thanks, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Make sure you are subscribed to The Vault at 201 North Broadway, wherever you podcast, including YouTube.
Connect with us on Facebook at The Vault at 201 North Broadway and Instagram at TheVault_201.
Don't forget to visit us at thevault@201.com and subscribe to our newsletter.
We will see you next time.
Bye.